Hi everyone and welcome back to another video and welcome back down to Kaohsiung, Andy in Taiwan's apartment. I'm pretty sure that most of you guys are familiar with Andy and his absolutely adorable family.
Are you strong?
Yeah, Ian, strong.
What's your favorite thing about Taiwan?
Going adventure.
Going on adventures?
Yeah.
One of the biggest regrets I have in Taiwan is that I lived in Taiwan for like 7 years before I started making YouTube videos. So there were so many like firsts that I didn't get to show and that I definitely would love to have made a video about. You literally started on day one. And I think that's just like so cool because pretty much every other foreigner that are making YouTube videos here in Taiwan, then we have already been here for a long time. It's not new for us here. We know the language. Some of us know the language. For you and especially your family, it's like your kids. It's brand new.
Yeah.
Everything.
A whole new world.
And it's so even for me, you know, who has been here in Taiwan for over a decade now. But it's so fascinating to see Taiwan through your eyes and your kids' eyes specifically.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely a unique opportunity.
Daniel, checking out the Kending night market. Look at that one. It's a lobster.
But before we get to the family, who is Andy in Taiwan and who was Andy in Taiwan before he was in Taiwan?
Wow, that's a big question. Hi everyone, so glad to be here on Lucas's channel. Yeah, I'm Andy. I'm from Los Angeles, California is where I was born. I lived a lot of different places, Moscow, Russia, Texas. I also lived in China for 4.5 years. And then now I live in Taiwan. I have a twin brother, so that's a cool thing about me.
Wow.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
another Andy out there. Yeah.
Is his name also Andy?
No. When I was in college, my wife and I both made a lot of friends with international students from China and Taiwan and Japan and Korea and many places. And we kind of fell in love with Asia. I got to go on a trip to China to study Chinese during a summer. And it was an incredible experience. I really loved the culture and the people were very kind to me and food and everything. Everything was so different than America. So it was very exciting. I made up my mind that I wanted to go back for a longer time and study the language. But I wanted to get married first. I started dating my wife, Cassia, long distance, FaceTime and things like that, and Skype back then. What happened to Skype, you know?
It's Swedish, so as a Swede,
I'm sorry.
As a Swede, I'm getting like offended that it was like
hurts.
the years of Skype are no
Well,
longer
Microsoft
here.
bought them, I think, right?
Yeah, that's true. When it was still Swedish,
Yeah.
it was amazing. Everyone used it.
Things
Then the
that-
Americans came and ruined it.
She also was interested in living in Asia and China specifically. Yeah, that made us really united when we were dating. And then, okay, let's get married and then we'll move to the other side of the world together.
Okay, so first of all, this is crazy, but we're gonna get to even crazier things because at this time in your life, it's only you and your wife. You don't have 3 kids.
No. Thankfully, yeah.
If my timeline is correct, during this time you had 2 kids, but you went back home to the States.
A couple years later, we got pregnant with Eden.
You say we. Your wife did all the job here.
Well, you know,
Well,
it takes 2 to tango, you know.
Your wife did 99% of the job here.
She did the hard work, we'll say that. We wanted to have our first baby in America. So we went back for like 3 months. Pretty fast to have a baby. Right?
Yeah.
So we went back, baby's about to come out, have the baby, get the visas and everything ready, go back in, you know, or whatever.
So like in total, you were only home for 3 months, or like
Yeah, 3.5 months. Yeah. So
in total, not
we're in
not
China,
before
go
the
back
birth.
to America, have a baby for 3 months, and then get back to China. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It was fast.
So then you were now in China. Students. I mean, when I was a student, I had more than enough trying to learn like my vocabulary and my grammar. You had to do that with a kid. Okay, this part I can't even understand. You know, you were in China for a few more years, and then you decided to have a second kid.
So then we got pregnant again. Late 2019, we went back to have Esther in America. I was going to teach English in Xi'an, China. That was my plan at that time. And then the pandemic hit. So we started praying about where does God want us to really settle down. I was also really interested in Taiwan, and my friend suggested Taiwan and specifically Kaohsiung, and worked together with a Christian church in Kaohsiung. It's called 希望教会 Hope Church. Of course, it's very different than China, but there's still a lot of similarities in culture. Still trying to get to a higher level of Mandarin, and my goal is to get really fluent in Mandarin and just have
how
no
good
problem
is
with it.
your Mandarin now?
我没那么好，但是我觉得我们可以 ，yeah， 如果你要跟我说中文也可以。
How long time do you think it takes before your kids' Chinese is better than yours?
Ooh, yeah. So a few years, but they're so smart, and those kids are like a sponge soaks up water. Their brains are like that for language. So Taiwan, just more and more, we thought, wow, this is a perfect fit for our family. And then a short window opened up, and they allowed some new foreigners to get in, and we got in the day that the door closed.
This is where all my question actually starts when you're actually in here in Taiwan. Because you came here to Taiwan literally like 2-3 days before the level 3 lockdown in March of last year.
When we arrived, I looked on the screens and other flights were canceled. So we may have been the last plane to get in to Taiwan, me and my family. Isn't that
crazy.
amazing? Yeah.
First impression of Taiwan is like 2 weeks of quarantine, and then you come out of quarantine, but the country is in lockdown.
Yeah.
To the story, which you have not shared yet, is that your wife was super pregnant.
Yes.
With your now son.
8 months pregnant.
8. Can you even be on a plane when you're that pregnant?
No, maybe 7.5 months. She could just barely get on a plane. A few weeks later, she would not be allowed.
Your wife cannot have been that supportive. Or
Okay, so my wife is 7.5 months pregnant. Not the best time to move to Taiwan. All right, move anywhere, right?
I just remember this from watching your YouTube channel back then. There was like one video, we're arriving in Taiwan, family of 4. And at that time, I was like, this guy is crazy. How can he put his family through this just so he can go to Taiwan? Like the picture I had in my head was that you got a job in Taiwan, and then you told your wife, I want to move to Taiwan.
Yeah.
So I was like, who is this guy who forces his family through this in the middle of the pandemic? Because like the YouTube video came out like 4 days after the pandemic or the lockdown started.
Yeah.
So I was like,
oh yeah, okay.
the lockdown just started and I felt so sorry for you. The timing was like an absolute worst you could have possibly.
But it was one of the best times to start a YouTube channel.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
yes.
everyone was watching YouTube last summer.
Yes.
Because they were not going anywhere.
True. But if we put your family before
Yeah, of
your
course.
YouTube channel.
So
Then-
my wife wanted to come. We trusted Taiwan's hospitals and doctors enough to just go for it and come here.
Yes, I have lived here for 10 years. So I know that.
Yeah.
And I would be comfortable with that as well. It's a system that you're not familiar with. You just heard from friends, I assume.
And I have to encourage my wife and say that she had courage and everything worked out. We had a great experience in the hospital, and you can watch our little video about the birth of Daniel in Taiwan.
Was she even able to get out from the quarantine before she had a baby?
So
baby came in like home quarantine basically?
We had a month, maybe 5 weeks or 6 weeks.
Can I help with the timeline? Sorry.
Okay. Come here. We have this.
Wow.
Take a chair.
Oh, no. 我不是故意的。
So
Now
my
we
wife,
see what actually happened, how this actually was.
hey, you came out.
You're talking about me, and I was the one who had the baby. And they keep saying, oh, you were 7.5 months pregnant, you were 8 months pregnant, you were 9 months pregnant. Like, how pregnant was I?
10 months, I think it was. Right?
So
I heard 12 months.
11.
So I think at least I don't know how it is in Taiwan, but in China we would always say that the baby was inside the mom for 10 months. But in America we say the baby's inside the mom for 9 months. So please tell us, is the baby inside the mom for 10 months or is the baby inside the mom for 9 months? Because I don't know how to translate that. Apparently when I looked it up, it's like 9.5 months. And so Americans say, oh, you're pregnant for 9 months. And then Chinese people would say, you're pregnant for 10 months.
Among the two of you, I trust you 100%.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You have had more babies than us two combined. So
Wow.
Wow, that's a big achievement for me. Big achievement.
So can I ask you then? Like, I don't need you anymore. And it's okay. You can go home and do something. Like we're doing a new video here. With you now, I just want to focus on like the future here in Taiwan. But I think that would actually have to wait for another video. So if that is something that you want to see, please do make sure to subscribe to my channel. And of course, make sure to support Andy in Taiwan. And you also get to see the amazing videos of his amazing family when they actually get to explore everything here in Taiwan for the first time. If you haven't done it already for the first time, please do make sure to subscribe to his channel as well. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Lukas. It starts with L as in like. Ends with S as in subscribe. Please do both and see you all in the next one.
Bye.